Hello, shiny happy people, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Cinema.Sewist, and on this channel, I am creating a cinematic wardrobe utilizing a little bit of creativity and a whole lot of dedication. On today's sewing menu, we have the probably last Cinemake of this year, question mark. And it's kind of unbelievable when you think of it that 2024 just blew past me and probably everyone else. But here we are. It is almost December. It's the last day of November as I'm filming this. And I have to make the Cinemake because in 6 days we have our official Christmas party. And for that Christmas party, I wanted to make the Christmas make that I was planning this whole year. And there was a lot of back and forth in my head how to do this. I think I've now nailed it. So I wanted to actually talk you through this and then get right into it, hopefully thinking that this will be hopefully done in a speedy way. Yes. So I'm going to talk to you about my make of Sex and the City 2 meets The Blondes, which is a fashion label from New York, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, that dress that I'm replicating is actually from The Blondes. So this is not me interpreting anything differently. This is a dress that Kim Cattrall wore in the movie, aka Samantha Jones. And yeah, let me talk you through this. The outfit, probably not really the movie, but definitely the fabric and the patterns that I'm going to use. So let's jump right into it. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to talk a lot about Sex and the City 2, the movie, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I didn't really like the movie. I think I watched it once and then I was like, yeah, I'm good. That was kind of a little bit the nail in the coffin for me for the TV show. I watched the TV show when I was younger, when it came out, and I loved it for the most part. There was always stuff that was, to me, a little bit too exaggerated. On the other hand, it was also played for humor, so you can kind of also look away on that. But what I really did like and what I really enjoyed about it was the fashion. Big shocker, right? But yeah, I found all of the ladies' styles so inspiring through the years. And I think they still hold up for the most part. You can always get a little bit of inspiration out of their styles. And yeah, I must say from the four ladies, my favorite always was Samantha Jones, Kim Cattrall. I found her character so amazing, sometimes a little too over the top, but for the most part, I think the strongest of the four and just very, very boss babe, if I can say so myself. If I can say that. But yeah, so I guess that's also why I chose this dress. But yeah, the Sex and the City 2 is all about going them to Abu Dhabi and having all kinds of stuff going on. Carrie meets Aiden again, la 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 la, even though she's married to Big. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is the dress, which I'm going to talk to you about right now. So this dress, and I'm trying to put up pictures, even though there is not that many pictures from the movie, or they have watermarks on them. But yeah, just take it for what it is. I think it is kind of known because I also read that Rihanna wore it at some point, same dress. And it is a silk jersey dress, from what I've gathered, from what my research came up with, in red, duh. And it has, I think the interest is it has a very low neckline with not really a cowl neckline, but it's more like a shawl that's draped over there. And it took me a while to really figure out how this dress came about, because from the two pictures from Kim Cattrall I saw online, I couldn't really see it. But from the one picture I saw from Rihanna, I saw that it actually has a hood in the back. And that then made a lot more sense to me. And I'm going to talk about that in a second when we talk about patterns. So it has that interest in the neckline and the hood. And then the biggest interest probably is that you have chains around this shawl neckline and around the shoulders. And the shoulders have large epaulettes. So this is like, and that I also found out while doing my research, is kind of like the same that you would have with uniform jackets, like military jackets, where they have these interesting decorations on the shoulders. And that is just taking it up to 11 by having it bigger. And then you have the spikes and you have the square studs and all of that good stuff. And then again, chains, like I said, that also drip, that are also kind of draped from there. And then you have an elastic belt, which the elastic belt I've ordered for simplicity reason, but the rest I'm going to make myself. It's a mini dress from what I've seen. It's not too long in the skirt, but it is pencil skirted. It has three-quarter sleeves, slim sleeves, because then you have, again, the epaulettes with the chains that really stand out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not that much to the dress, but it took me quite a while to really figure out the interest in it. And if you look at the blondes and their general style, and I'm trying to show you a couple of things from, I think, their last collection. It's a lot with spikes, it's a lot with glitter, it's very loud, very bold, I would say. A lot of accentuating your figure, like tight. And I find their style absolutely glorious. I might even go back at another point doing something else, but for now it is this dress that I want to recreate, which I think became like their most famous so far. But yeah, this is what we're working with for this Christmas outfit. And of course, the most interesting question is, what where do I start? Do I start with the fabric or with the patterns? I'm going to start with the fabric because fabric is always fun. So let's see about the fabric. All right. I have a confession to make. While I wanted to initially do this the original way and make this a red dress like the original, I have changed my mind. There's a couple of reasons for it. I mean, one, you can already see, and I think it's the most prominent. The past few months, I've made a lot of things in red. So much so that you can probably at some point call me the Queen of Hearts, because it's all red stuff. And I wanted some variety. I wanted something different. So I got away from the thought of making this a red dress, and then I was thinking about making this a pink dress instead. And I do have a jersey in pink, which is gorgeous, but unfortunately it's only 1.8 meters, and there's no chance that I get this dress out of 1.8 meters. You need quite a lot, especially for the hood. So I was looking back and forth through my stash, and then I discovered a fabric that my mother has bought me many, many moons ago. So this is kind of my inheritance again. And the cool thing is about this is that this was always meant to be for an evening gown. So perfect. It's not going to be a gown, but it's going to be a party dress, which is great. And also I have 4 meters of it. So yeah, and this is going to be what I'm making this dress out of. It is very, well, it's very colorful, especially now if you see it against my wallpaper in the back, you might get a little dizzy. So many flowers, but this is what we're going to be working with. It has a black background and then, yeah, a lot of pink and purple flowers all over it. So yes, this is going to be the basis for the dress. And of course you can say, well, but for that type of dress you should have a solid color, and I do agree, but I also want to experiment a little, and there is no way now 6 days before the event, for one, and secondly, from all the fabrics that I already have, that I'm now buying an additional fabric. So I found three jersey fabrics in my stash. I know I do have one more in like a very dark aubergine, like eggplant type purple, but I do not think this dress would look good in purple. I think having a louder print than with the epaulettes and the chains and everything, I think this is really going to work nicely. And so we're going to experiment with that. The only thing I'm going to do differently, because the hood and the shawl piece, you cut twice, so to line it, but I have a solid, I don't even know if I want to show this, but it's a simple black jersey, which I'm going to use to line the hood and that shawl. So yeah, this is what I'm going to work with this one. And again, sorry, I cannot link to the fabric below, the main fabric, if you're interested in it, because this was bought, I think, around 2005, I want to say, maybe 2008. It might be around 20 years old, so there's no chance that I can list this. This does not exist anymore. But I think any any like viscose jersey. This is a viscose jersey. This is a viscose jersey, and I did also, based on the tag from the fabric that I had, I did wash it, pre-wash it. It washes nicely. You can even throw it in a dryer, works too. So yeah, that is what we're going to be working with. And also I have, to make the epaulettes, you do need something like a shoulder pad. So I have shoulder pads, I have these, and I have other ones that are even slimmer. So these are already quite slim. These are typical blouse shoulder pads. I might even go with the thinner ones because I'm thinking about getting the spikes through and everything. And then I found these. I think these are like pads for underarm pads here against sweating and stuff. So I was thinking of crafting this and this together, if that makes sense, so that you have like the square shoulder piece, and then this all is going to be decorated with chains. I got so far 2 chains, one more is on the way. I still have from the last Christmas dress, I have some of the rhinestone trim left. I might even utilize this just to use it up. I have all of this. I also have like sequins, and I have rhinestones. And all of that is going to be used on these things, right? Which, yeah, that should give me the look. What also should give me the look is what I'm going to talk to you about lastly, and that are the patterns. So for the patterns, I am going again with one of my favorites, Gertie's Charm patterns. To keep things simple, I am going to utilize the skipper dress, the skirt portion, and I wanted to use the top portion of the skipper dress as well, but the neckline is not up to par with what I want, especially when I looked at the hood part, which is a different pattern. So I am going to use the skipper skirt portion, and then I'm going to add the Barbie top on top of it. And I did that recently for the Marilyn Monroe dress, if you remember that from one of my show and tells. So I'm going to use that and then redraft the neckline so that it becomes that neckline where you can insert the shawl slash hoodie piece. And that piece actually comes from a very different pattern. This is from an Etsy seller. I think her name is, well, the brand's name is Pattern Couture. And they do PDF patterns, PDF only. And the reason why I bought this also was because it was $3 instead of 10. So I was like, yeah, let me get that. Let me try it out because it was exactly from the look, and I'm going to show you. This is the Matilda dress, and it is from the look exactly what I wanted for that hood part. The only problem about the dress is obviously it has a neck holder and it's free in the back and there are no sleeves. So that is why I have to go with the Skipper and Barbie dress. And also I'm using from the Barbie top, I'm using the 3/4 sleeves. I forgot to mention that. And yeah, that's going to be the mishmash that is hopefully going to create what I was looking for with the dress from the Blondes. And yeah, make it a affordable version for me because that dress, as beautiful as it is, the original costs $5,000, which I would never invest into a dress. I'm being very transparent about that. I do appreciate quality work. I would even pay a good price for quality work, but I would not pay just for a designer brand a huge amount of money, if that makes sense. I'm more driven by paying someone who does a lot of craftsmanship, puts a lot of craftsmanship in their work, paying them the amount of money that they deserve rather than pay for a brand, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a beautiful dress still. And since I have the skills to possibly recreate this, we'll see how we get on with it. You will see, hopefully, in 6 days, the Sex and the City 2, the Samantha Jones. I'm just calling it the Samantha Jones dress, even though there are so many, and there are very beautiful dresses of hers. Maybe we'll make a series out of that at some point. Maybe we won't. I don't know yet. But what I do know is I'm very looking forward to making this dress and getting an epic Christmas party dress out of this. The only thing that I have not figured out yet is what I'm going to do with my hair. That is kind of a headache to me at the moment, but we will figure this out when it gets to it. At the moment, we'll focus on getting this into the Samantha Jones. And I invite you along on this journey. So let's go. Good morning. Happy December. It's the 1st of December, Sunday morning, and here we are getting into the dress that I said we would get into. I did off camera alternate my pattern, meaning I did, let me quickly show you the front. It was mainly the front. I adjusted the back neckline a little bit, but mainly it is for the front of the Barbie top where I went with the scoop neckline going fairly low. It's a fairly low V now. I did also trace my 3/4 sleeve. And right here laid out, I have the hood and the back piece. So this dress only has 4 pieces, which is great. And even better, because what I usually do is I create 2 folds instead of 1. Instead of simply folding the fabric, I did fold it now 2 ways and a little bit off center, so that from one height I get actually the back piece out and the hood. And the good part is I can cut out the hood twice. So I don't even need the black jersey, which is great. So the hood is going to be lined with the same fabric, which I think is going to look better, more beautiful. And from what I measured, I roughly only need close to 2 meters for the dress. So I could have even taken one of the other jerseys that I have, but I'm not changing my mind anymore. I am actually kind of hooked on this fabric now. I'm so excited to finally make this up. Like I said, it's around 20 years old by now. So I think this is a very nice opportunity to use this fabric up, and I will have enough left to do something else. Possibly another dress or a top. We will see. It's gonna stay exciting. But anyway, I'm gonna put you on time lapse and I'm gonna cut this thing out because the plan is to completely sew the dress today so that I have enough time for all the embellishments throughout the week. So wish me luck. Let's go. Alrighty, I have a finished dress, at least from the sewing portion, so let me show you. This is the dress. The mesh up between the skipper skirt, the bobby top with amended neckline, and then the Matilda dress, hood, and shawl, which I can put up the hood. I hope it doesn't interfere too much with the microphone. But yeah, this is what it looks like when the hood is up. And yes, I am very happy with this. This is a really cool look, I find. I'm thinking about the length of this. If I want this, let me tip you down just a smidge. If I want to go and shorten the dress a little bit, I mean, I still need to hem it, so it's going to be a little shorter anyway. But if I want to go short, like a bit more like a mini dress, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. The sleeves I definitely need to shorten. They're supposed to be 3/4, but right now they're full length, so I have to imagine them being like this in the end, which, yes, that's not a big issue. But yeah, this is the thing. I'm very happy, and I'm happy about my choice of fabric, I must say. I did not expect this to come out this beautifully. I was a little bit worried at first that the because the shawl and the neckline don't go as deep as it did in the original. But then I'm also thinking, yeah, I think it's just perfect now that I see it completely finished. At first I was like, is this going to be too tame as a dress? But no, I think this is actually perfect. And yeah, you see cleavage, it's all good. And the main part is going to come anyway in the form of these. So I have shoulder pads. These are t-shirt shoulder pads. I happen to have a pair of black ones. And then I got these little doodads, which are more like, I think for underarm. Yeah, little thingies to catch sweat, so to speak. And if you pin these together, you will get the cap that I think I will need for the dress. So you would have to imagine it sitting up top here. I'm thinking about covering it in the same fabric so that it, even after embellishing, if there's like little bits of fabric looking through, it still matches the dress. So I'm probably going to do that, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do that tonight because I'm already happy with the progress that I made. That was just enough than what I wanted to do. And I also tried this out. So this is one of the chains that I have, and you have to imagine they're coming, they're going to be right, right here roughly. Probably a little lower, so I'm going to exaggerate that look a little bit like in the original, even though the cowl neck itself doesn't go as low. But therefore we can have the chains go a little lower, and then obviously you're going to have that on the side as well. So I'm thinking about making this a separate piece that I then can pin to the dress like you would classically have. You can buy these, by the way, so if you don't want to go through all that work, I saw some sellers on Etsy who have these with the large spikes. Yeah, I got some of the larger spikes. And if you want to buy this, costs around, well, the more expensive ones cost around 180 bucks, which I don't want to invest. That's why I'm doing this myself. But irrespective of that, I think this is a very cool dress. I really like this a lot. I wish the cowl would go a little lower. But on the other hand, I think this way you can actually wear this for more opportunities than just a Christmas party, which I actually like. So yeah, there you have it. This is my Samantha Jones as it stands tonight. First day of working on it, fairly happy. Let's move on tomorrow. Okay, it is the night before, and of course I did heavily procrastinate, which I seem to do a lot this year, but here we are. And this thing has to be finished tomorrow night in less than 24 hours. What I did do off camera was I prepared the shoulder pieces. So I took the shoulder pads that I had and also the little pieces, the little side pieces that I showed you, and I have covered them in the same fabric. So yes, and then I've sewn the small pieces to the side of the shoulder pad to create like a cap. So it would look like this. And now we are ready to embellish the whole thing, which means I have a lot of rhinestones. I bought a couple more actually, and these came on time now. What I did order also was more spikes, but these then are not going to arrive in time. They were supposed to be delivered today, and then it said it's going to be by tomorrow at 10, which is too late. So we will make do with what we have. I think I have enough. I think I just panic board some more, and I don't need to. And then I have these square studs as well. You can see those. Also in different sizes. And yeah, some more rhinestones. I do have sequins, which I'm probably not going to use. I want to keep it fairly simple, and I want to get this done. Preferably tonight, and I'm going to do a little bit tomorrow as well. What I did do before I turned on the camera was also to hem the dress, because I completely forgot about that from Sunday when I made the dress. So yeah, I'm gonna put you on time lapse and we'll see how we progress. I need to get this done tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Let's go. Okay, it's close to 11, so 3 hours later, and this is the first of the two epaulettes. Let me just get the other one. This one has so far nothing on it. I don't even know what's the hole up there. Oh yeah, it does. I had to pin this one to the dress now because this got so heavy with the rhinestones and the spikes and everything. Yeah, this requires some more work, and I have declared this finished, even though, as you can see here, I did not put rhinestones in because I think this is getting A, too heavy, and B, I don't have the time and nerves and patience to fully embroider this, especially when you consider, I mean, like you see, the shawl kind of with the hood drapes over it. So this is going to stay in the end like this. And tomorrow I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to add the chains. I'm going to do all the things. It's going to be very tight, but I really don't want to work anymore. I'm super tired. And so we'll break for tonight and see you tomorrow. Okay, so I did not film anything today. I was just panic stitching the decoration for this dress. And now it's 5 p.m. I got 2 more hours till the party. And yeah, it's finished. As you can see, the chains are a little stubborn, but I think that's going to go all the time. I can show you on the side here. This is one of the shoulder pads, all the spikes, all the studs and rhinestones. I did not fully embroider this, as you can see. So here it's just a couple of studs and spikes because this shawl is falling over it, for one. And this is already really heavy as it is, also including the chains. So I thought, okay, let's do a little less. This is the other side. And it was in the end a good decision to put the fabric on top of the shoulder pads, because otherwise it would have looked a little weird. But that is the final product. And yeah, now I need to get going, do my hair, do my makeup, and then you'll see the result. And there you have it. This is the Samantha Jones Sex and the City 2 dress. At least my replication of it. Now, I only wore this for the Christmas party, so I haven't worn this since. The thing was, I did wash it afterwards, so this viscose jersey you can easily wash. There's no issue with that, so nothing grew or anything. It's perfectly fine. What I did have more of a problem with were these two, the stars of the show, the epaulettes. I lost a couple of rhinestones while I partied, and I didn't even party hard, so there is that. The other issue was because the viscose jersey is very, very thin, and these have become very heavy with all the chains, the rhinestones, the studs, all that good stuff. And I did attach them via, I don't know if you can see this somewhere. The chain is in the way. With some brooch needles, 3 for each side, but they were not holding really the pieces in place. And also one of those needles tore a hole into the dress itself, which was fun to discover. I repaired the hole, and you don't really see it because the fabric is so busy, but since that happened, I was now thinking that I will remove those needles and I will permanently fixate these to the dress and then have little tabs on the inside of the dress to then fixate the shoulder situation to my bra straps. So that way it doesn't move as much as it used to in this construction, which is something, you experiment, you live and learn, and this was an experiment. It's not fully perfect, so we're still working on it. And yeah, I might give you a little epilogue once this is done and how that turned out. I'm also going to fill in the rhinestones that I lost along the way. So there is this. Yeah, I'm very happy with this dress, also with the dress itself. Like this very simple construction from the Barbie dress, the Barbie top with the skipper skirt, and then adding this hood and cowl situation that I mentioned to this worked perfectly. I think this was a very rewarding, easy sew. And yeah, this was a super fun outfit for the Christmas party. And yeah, I'm gonna wear this more. So I just didn't have an opportunity yet. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, because it sure will happen at some point. Because yeah, and if you don't have the opportunity, you make the opportunity. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you want to see more of this, I would be happy if you subscribe to this channel so you stay up to date on my sewing journey. I hope maybe you learned a thing or two. Maybe you discovered something that you want to create yourself as well. And yeah, on that note, I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.